last name.
Good morning. I am Pastor Jonathan Boreal, pastor at Chadwick Craft. Since his regrets, I'm the administrative pastor at Pentecostal Gulf Coast. In thinking about this meeting this morning, I was doing some reading, and it was 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 1. It says, I urge you then, first of all, that petitions, prayers, intercessions, and thanksgiving be made for all people, for kings and all those in authority, that we may live in peace and quiet lives. So this morning at your jest, we're going to pray for all of those in authority that we may live in peace.
Amen.
But I do thank you for this opportunity. I do want to take a moment to encourage you, Board of Supervisors and all those that are here. In a meeting, we often get bogged down by details and suggestions and all of those things that come along with a meeting. And oftentimes we forget our purpose and our passion of when we were first called into this civic duty. So this morning, I encourage you this morning, take heart and thank you so much for all that you do for our community. Let's pray. God, I thank you for this beautiful, cold day. I thank you for this opportunity for all of us to gather together. I thank you for the men and women of this board. God, I ask that you would help us guide and direct our thoughts, our opinions, and our minds for the betterment of our community and for your purpose. God, I ask that you would grant wisdom this morning, but not just wisdom, wisdom with understanding, that we may know, that we may grow, and that we may better our community. Thank you for our county, and thank you for all those that are gathered this morning. We pray in your name. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. That's Supervisor Martin, lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First thing we're going to do is we're going to move number 50. We'll move it up, please. This is, I think she asked. Probably gave me. Number 50. Yes. 50 is for the acknowledging receipt of and concurring with the recommendation of the senior chancellor Carter Bias to appoint Cassidy Anderson as full-time public guardian for Harrison County effective December 1st, 2022 as per local and private Senate Bill 3203 of the 2004 regular legislative session for a period of 4 years per court order dated November 2nd, 2022.
Motion. Second.
Discussion?
Ms. Lee?
Good morning and thank you. Just very quickly here, I'm going to hand out what normally I would hand out at the February or March meeting. This is our annual report up to today.
Write that out.
I think Angela's already got mine, she took over.
Okay.
And you'll see that we being my office, continues to be right on track for it to be a year in which we will be handling in excess of 600 cases. It does include the commitments, the conservatorships, and the guardian ad litem cases. I've been before you on a number of prior occasions, talked to you about what it is my office does. I'm tired.
Come on.
I'm tired. And I have enough years in to be able to retire. I believe that you all have seen on my prior meetings minutes that I have tendered my retirement papers. I have, from that time to now, been looking for a person that I believed would be up to the job of what it is that this office has developed into. And I think I found that person in the gentleman standing next to me, Mr. Cassidy Anderson. I interviewed a number of folks. While they were well-meaning, many did not have the skill set. Many were surprised by the various duties that the office takes on, not only officially but unofficially. And Cassidy has been shadowing me for about a month or 6 weeks now. He has handled a number of the mental commitments. He's already a certified guardian ad litem. He has, in his private practice, had a number of conservatorship cases. More than that, he's expressed to me that this is not merely a job. He doesn't look at this as merely being a job. He wants to give back. He wants to be able to do some good. And it was that helped me to decide that I think that he would make a very good public guardian. And so that would be the introduction I have. I do want to let you know one additional thing. And yes, I know you've heard me say this before. I'm always trying to get my assistant a little bit of extra money. Always, always. With the having to keep up with the data that you have before you, in addition to all of her other duties that she does very well, now she's got to train a baby lawyer. So I have asked for and pleaded for a little bit of additional funds. I know that the county recently gave everyone 5%, and we're most grateful for that. But with the additional duties that she has to take on, with the training of somebody new, with the evolution of the office itself, I've asked for an additional $2,500 to be budgeted
What
towards this.
percent is that?
I'm sorry, I did not figure it as a percent. I think it's 2%.
Okay.
I did ask for that for her. She's very deserving of it. You know, I'm always touting her, the need for her in the office. And so I would ask that y'all consider that in a budget amendment. Mr. Anderson is coming in to my position, or into the, sorry, I've taken ownership of it. He's coming into the public guardian's position, not at the same rate of pay that I would be receiving, because he's got to earn it. So, and he is okay with that. But with that adjustment, there should be adequate amounts in the budget to be able to do what I'm asking for on behalf of Ms. Bingham. So I'm going to step aside now. Cassidy, I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
Good morning, I'm Cassidy Anderson. I've been practicing law since 2008, and I started my legal career as a clerk for a chancellor. And that is when I really understood what a guardian ad litem was and what conservatorship cases were. That's not something they really teach you in law school. But I really didn't realize what it was until I started shadowing JD. And it is it's a great service. My wife was diagnosed with cancer last year, and it gave me an opportunity to really reevaluate what I wanted out of life. And JD approached me about this, and I sincerely believe that it was God that put this in front of me. And I will be honored if y'all allow me to do this.
Where do you live?
Past Christian.
Thank you for your attention this morning.
I do want to say JD has done a wonderful job for many,
Word
many
out of my
years.
mouth. Yes.
It was
We
a
appreciate it.
mess before we had the public guardian. John to be complimented for pushing that through too.
Yeah, Judge Alfonso.
If somebody whopped him or something.
It's a dermatologist.
Bad day.
Dermatologist. But anyway, it goes back to 2004. We had an onset of guardianships and serviceships that was put on the Chancery Clerk. Over 140 in like 1 week. And that is not a duty of the Chancery Clerk, but we were able to get local and private. It's been great. Involuntary minimal commitments, which is what the clerk serves for the court. Communication with your office has been unbelievable. The patients have got their service well worth the position and what your assistant does. She does great for us, keeping us informed on the future of the patients, where they've been placed. Very detailed. Thank you.
I'd like to thank you too, because I think that it is a call. And, this board, relied on you and your expertise and your caring. It's a job that not many people will take on, and it sounds like we have someone here who feels the same way, that it is a calling, and that, God puts you in those positions for a reason. So thank you for coming, and I don't know if we have to advertise or is that something we don't have to do? It's a judge appoint, okay, it's already appointed, so.
Well, the court makes a recommendation, the board appoints.
Court
The
appoints.
court has recommended.
It's been a long time. How long have you been with us, Judge?
12 years.
12 years. Thank you so much for everything that you've done. All the people that I'm sure you've touched, many, many lives in Harrison County.
And JD was quite the advocate for her clients, I promise you. She did an excellent job, and, you got big shoes to fill.
And Mr. Anderson, you got some big shoes to fill, but you sound like you're the man to do it.
Thank you for the vote of confidence.
With that, I'll make a motion.
It's already on.
Oh, we already
Any
did.
discussion? Okay, is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Congratulations.
Welcome.
Thank
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you all very much. I've enjoyed working with you.
Thank you. We've enjoyed you.
Okay, next up is, consider the claim of Don Enroth Jr. on behalf of Hayden Enroth for the damages to Hayden Enroth automobile which are alleged to have occurred as a result of debris left at the intersection of Louisiana School Road, Cable Bridge Road, and Big Creek Road by the Harrison County Road Department on or after July 18, 2022. Motion?
Officer Clifford Tim, maybe to address the issue.
Yes. Motion and second for discussion.
I don't know if Mr. Enroth made it or not, he had a comment. Oh, okay, good, thank
Can you
you.
get a second for discussion?
Second discussion.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are y'all doing?
Please introduce yourself for the record.
My name is Don Enroth Jr. This is my son, Hayden Enroth.
Okay. You want to tell us a bit about?
Tell him what happened, son.
So I was coming to the intersection, I came to the stop sign, and as I came through, there was a bush hog, two bush hogs on the side of the road. On the right side of the road, there was debris all over in the road. I slowed down to about 5 miles an hour, and as I was going past, I had hit, or I guess a piece of metal had been slung into my tire, or I ran it over. And as I was driving, it spun around and was hitting my fender and scratched my fender pretty severely. So
Did the mower itself throw the wire into your tire? Or was
no,
it,
sir.
I
believe-
wire laying in the road and you hit it?
I believe that I hit it in the road. It didn't sling it because it was on the opposite side of my truck from the bush hog.
And Tom, did you identify it as coming off of the moon?
What he said, it was consistent with it. There was grass trimmings, and I believe the wire was in the road. I don't think there was negligence on the county's part or his part. It was just.
Is this a road hazard?
Yes,
Just a
sir.
road hazard?
Road hazard, yes, sir.
And then on your two estimates have tax, and we don't usually do tax, just FYI.
If you make payment directly to the company that's fixing it, you don't have to pay the tax.
Well, that's,
But I think the question is, was the wire in the road caused by the county?
I think that's the big.
I would say that was consistent with my investigation on
that's what he said.
It looks like a piece of wire, not a piece of metal.
Yeah,
Just big
metal
small.
wire.
Big firm metal wire.
I just don't know how the county could prevent something like that. It's not something the county put out there. I don't see how the county was negligent causing the damage, but we're assuming that it was thrown out there, which may be a valid assumption, but it's just an assumption.
Even if it were thrown, if it was nodule, if it were thrown out on the road, were we negligent? I mean, that's gonna happen all the time.
You'd have to know about it.
Yeah,
But they're,
You have to be negligent either either if the county was negligent in some fashion that put the hazard there, there's no evidence of that, or the county knew of the danger and didn't have appropriate enough time to take care of it, to do something about it. Y'all have any information like that? You think it,
No, I don't.
the county employee was negligent in throwing the wire out there? Was there anything that
Did
pointed
they
to
know
him
the wire
doing?
was out in the street? Or do you-
No, but there was debris all in the road. I mean, it was,
I mean, had the bush hogs not been there, would it have been there?
no, it wasn't.
I mean, could he have seen it and picked it up before he ran it over? Could the county have picked the trash up on the side of the road before the bush hog?
Well, they probably do, but
The
in
wire's
one
not
second,
there.
somebody can throw something
I
else out.
understand.
None of that, the wires, that's probably hard to see, it's not like it's,
Well, they were in the process of bush hogging, so it wasn't like they were complete cutting the grass and then had left it, so they were in the process of cutting when the incident occurred.
You know, this is not the first one, and at some point, this board's gonna have to make up its mind whether it's gonna do, whether we're negligent or not. And be consistent. That's the only problem that I have. We don't seem to be consistent. We need to be. Either we're going to do it, was there signs out, Tom?
Yes, sir, they were.
that's difficult. I mean, the board cannot pay a claim unless it adjudicates that the county was negligent in some form or fashion. Find the county at fault, then you can pay it. If you can't determine who's at fault, then you can't pay the claim. If it's a dispute about whether somebody's at fault or not, then you can resolve the dispute. But in this case, I don't even see a dispute. We're assuming it got there, and that may be a valid assumption, but.
Well, they were bush hogging and the wire with the grass was, looks to me like it was.
I don't think so. They had
Up to the
signs
board.
out.
But the signs
This-
can't prevent
yeah.
what's being thrown in the road by the bush hogs. I mean, the signs just tell you that they are bush hogging the head. I mean, it's not an indication or a warning that there might be something in the road that you can pick up in your tire that will end up scratching your vehicle and need you to have a paint job and new tires.
Generally, the signs are put up to warn the public their mowers ahead so they can make a decision whether or not to risk going
Well, you-
by the mowers.
I couldn't
or-
go any other way. I have to get to my destination regardless. I mean,
I don't know, I'm just telling you why the signs are there. If this is a little bit different than a warning of a rock being thrown out, because that's a hazard of mowing, you have to mow. This is a wire, but it's up to the board to adjudicate that. Board feels the county was negligent, either in not, in
And I know, I mean,
throwing the wire
I have a
out.
hard time, but I kind of feel like we should pay for it. I don't know, that's just me.
Just understand, that's all I'm asking you, because we denied some rock throwers, and there's really no difference. So if that's what we wanna do,
Well,
I don't have a problem, just be consistent.
I know that I have complaints like this, and I told them that they could come before the board, but we were not negligent. If we can't prove that we were negligent, then we are opening up Pandora's box, in my opinion, for every single person that, comes in and doesn't know exactly whether the mowers threw it out there or not, because we don't know that, and you don't know that. You stated that earlier.
Keep in mind whether the mower threw it out or not, it's whether we're negligent or not. It's whether we're negligent, they're gonna throw things out.
What is negligence in this case with regards to throwing something out from under a bush hog?
The failure, the definition of negligence is the failure to exercise reasonable care to prevent whatever occurred. So that's the question, how would a county employee avoid this situation? How would they take action to avoid it from being slung out? They didn't throw it out on the side of the road, somebody else did. They're mowing the yard, unless they knew it got thrown out and they had time to say, okay, I gotta stop and get this out of the road, and it's too small for that in my view. It's a wire, I'm not sure what kind of wire it was, but thick wire.
It was enough to puncture the tire.
Just y'all tell the board how you feel like the county was negligent, failed to exercise reasonable care, and that may help the board make that decision.
it's still county's bush hog. That, I mean, if it had not been there, or if it had not been mowing that day, it probably wouldn't be in my tire, and it wouldn't have damage, it wouldn't be in front of you today. I mean, it's just,
Let me ask you
You
this,
get a lot
Mr.
of
Harmon.
complaints.
If I was bush hogging my property and something like that happened on my property and hit my neighbor's car, would I be liable for it?
It may not be, I mean, you might be, depending on, the yard's a little bit different because of the control of the yard versus the side of the road. But if it was in your yard, depending on how large it was, if it was just a rock, I would say no. It's just an unfortunate road hazard. I just had my windshield fixed this past week, it was behind a truck, through it, the truck, I think, came underneath the truck, but I don't know that for certain because I never saw it, I just heard it. Hit me 2 spots, and so Safe Light fixed it, you can't even tell it anymore, which is amazing, but, you know, that truck, the person was in the car, get his tag number, I said, what did he do? He's driving down the roadway and runs over somebody else deposited there, that, how are they responsible? That's the problem, it's a road hazard, we all,
But it's not a road hazard, it's not laying in the road, it would not have been in the road had the bush hogs not been there. I mean, so a road hazard to me would be a brick laying in the road, a tire laying in the road on Interstate
Bush
10.
hog, we have to bush hog.
Oh, I understand that, but the
Or we'll
county,
get complaints from
well, I
that.
understand, but that's the county property, and that's a county bush hog. You know, I'm required to pick up the trash in front of my property, I'm required for, you know, if I blow trash out on the road, as I mow it, I've gotta pick it up, whether I pick it up beforehand or whether I pick it up after.
but see, we really don't know that it's wrong. We're assuming that, but we don't
So
know
it's
that.
it's a pretty fair assumption, very reasonable assumption.
It's that, but
Yes, sir.
what if the wire was in the road and the grass was thrown on top of it as you went by? I mean, I don't know.
I think that's a,
I passed that road frequently. During the time we were working, I passed that road several days before that. Nothing was ever in the road, and I've never had problems with that road until after there was bush hogs mowing, and there was debris everywhere.
To the county board to adjudicate it, so the board adjudicates it. If the county was negligent, then you pay the claim. If you can't adjudicate that it's negligence, then you can't pay the claim under the law, that's the legislature's choice, not.
Call the question.
The question is considered.
Right. So we have a motion,
Have a motion, second on the floor.
right? Let's go ahead and consider. We have a motion and a second to consider. Is there any further discussion on the consideration? Because we need that, we can make a decision. We can consider, what does that mean?
Well, we'll vote on this and then,
Okay,
You can consider it means to adjudicate whether or not you're responsible or not, so that's okay.
okay. So then we need another motion.
right.
Motion to approve or deny the claim.
Can you get a motion to approve or deny the claim?
I'll move to
We have to,
approve.
we have to vote on the motion on the floor, though, right?
You already did on
You
the
already
consideration, didn't you? Now you have a motion to approve the claim.
Or deny the claim?
Or,
Well,
but
my
you made a
motion-
motion to
Made the
approve it.
motion to approve,
I'm sorry, but y'all don't have to second.
right. Get a second.
That was my turn. Okay.
Okay, motion dies for lack of second.
So now you're gonna do a motion to deny the
Deny-
claim?
Yes, I get a motion to deny the claim.
Motion.
Get a second.
Second.
Okay, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
No.
All opposed, okay, motion to deny passes.
Ms. Morton, thank you very much for considering your taxpayers in this county, we appreciate it.
Number 2, consider auto damage claims of Paul Manchester.
Of course, if you pay all of the taxpayers, will get you.
That's right.
You wanna come up and state your name for the
My name's Paul Manchester.
the address?
Address is 19379 Mark Drive, Social, Mississippi.
Okay,
I'm in the process of moving down here from Florida, and I went to the code office I needed it properly inspected to get power turned on. And when I was inside the code office, I I was informed that one of the county vehicles backed into my car. And, they came and told me to get 2 estimates and then, yeah, and that's how I ended up here.
Can I help the board a little bit? I assume the board read this claim.
Yeah, there's two
We
different vehicles.
There's no question that an employee backing out and hitting a parked car would be negligent, so that's not the issue here. The second is damages. This was a 2004 Mazda RX-8.
Yes, sir.
But he said he wasn't in that car.
No, I wasn't in, it was in a parking spot.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
inside.
okay, but that was the car you had driven.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, the problem here is that car's, how much is that car worth?
7,000.
2004 Mazda RX-8?
They don't make them anymore. That's why it's so high to get it fixed, because they can't get parts for it.
Well, just so the board knows, generally the rule of the law on property damage is you value the property before the loss, for the damage, and then you value the property after the damage, and the difference between those two would be the legal damages. Now, we often use repair value because that's easier. It's hard to get an opinion on a car that easy, but so we generally use repair value. The problem with here is the repair value. I'm not sure what the value of this car is. Maybe we should verify that because the 2 estimates are right at $1,500.
Well, and then,
$2,000.
is Lisa here?
Yeah, she's,
So Lisa, I thought,
I
you
mean,
were
I'm
saying
willing-
the damage was on the side of the car, and I thought it was on the bumper.
It's on, no, it's on the door.
The doors.
On the door.
Yeah, the community service person put it on the bumper, and I had to call them back and tell them it was on the door.
It was only the doors. And that's where the
Is
estimate
that
come from,
price
just
is
the
in
doors.
here for a cover car bag?
I agree with this individual over here on the fact that, yes, it's in on the car. You know, I'm willing to take less money, you know what I'm saying? I don't, you know, I have somebody that can fix the car personally, that's gonna fix it for me, and they're gonna fix it for me for half of what the estimates. I only brought them estimates because that's what I was told I had to do,
That's okay.
you know?
So what would you take to resolve
About
this?
$700. That's what it's costing me to get it fixed.
I think that's probably fair. I'd recommend that to the board.
Make a motion, you pay
Second.
700.
pass within here.
$700 paying for sound release.
Yeah, he'll sign a release. We'll have to repair that. It'll take a week or 10 days to get the check. And I'll call you to our office. Do you have an email address?
Yeah.
If you'll give it, write it down and give it to Patricia.
Okay,
We'll make sure we send you something to tell you when the check's ready and when the release is ready.
all right.
Okay?
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Next one, recognize Mr. Frank Bordeaux.
Thanks. Already. Damn.
Dennis Insurance, former DSXI, to discuss the upcoming insurance.
We changed our name every year.
I know y'all need to fix this thing.
Protect us and
We'll have to figure that out.
Still call us.
Beat it, Frank.
DSXI, does that stand for somebody's name? or what?
What's that, the XSI? That was our, stock.
Oh,
Cadence is the name. We bought them and they,
Turn around, bought you.
well, we took their name to expand out the south. That's my understanding. So, I asked to be put on the, agenda today to discuss, in budget hearings, we discussed the market was obviously continuing to be a hard market. Since then, the market is really deteriorating after the events that happened in Florida over the past few weeks. They're estimating the insured losses over Florida to be between $50 billion and $70 billion of insured losses. The marketplace builds in to their expected losses about $50 billion annually, and so that wiped it out completely. So we are going to be late this year. We'll continue to work with the administration. One thing that we've been doing over the past 6 months is we've been reevaluating every building. We've hired a third party to go through We found 9 buildings that we believe that we can argue with the rating bureau. We're in the arguments with the rating bureau right now. That would move those buildings to, we believe, from your non-wind resistive schedule to your wind resistive schedule, which would benefit us.
Do y'all insure all, like all those trailers that we've got, the double wide?
We insure some of them, and some of them we don't. We go through with the administration and staff on items like that we may not want to. Some items we have to just because they're FEMA dollars, but I think we
We don't
have all the trailers off at this point. So we're, obviously y'all take a good bit of risk as most counties and cities do. Some items we cannot take risk on just because of FEMA. But on top of the rate increases, we're seeing the carriers are requiring increases on the values based on inflation. We have been able to push back on that. We have asked them to allow us to do it over a period of time due to the fact that we really don't know what inflation is going to do. Next year, I'm going to ask, after Katrina, the board did a valuation on all the buildings. I believe mid-next year, we should probably do that again. Our firm will split the cost with the county. We have a quote right now, it's $21,000 to do all of our buildings. I think that's a very good price. And this is a company that's all they do is do valuations for insurance.
And we're still paying insurance and utilities on these empty buildings, correct?
Oh.
On empty buildings?
Uh-huh, if they're like the one in.
So maybe when you do that study, let me know, if you don't mind, how much those empty buildings are costing us.
We can do the rate per building, and we've done that in the past. We can take, once we get the quotes, we can break down rate per building.
Because we could maybe move some of these
The
groups
va-
out of these
The
trailers.
value of the building is determined by whether it's occupied or not, is it?
No, and actually
So-
vacant
so
buildings
what-
carry a
Pardon?
tougher rate. Vacant
They're
buildings
hard.
actually carry a tougher rate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But I
some
mean-
yeah.
we got people in trailers, we could just move into these buildings, since we're paying them anyway, and eliminate that risk. In my opinion.
We can go through, I mean, I guess it was probably 10 years ago, we actually broke the schedule down by district and to provide y'all the buildings in your district and what the cost is to
See, we're a
insure.
unit system, so all the buildings are all price.
I understand.
But
And
that's
that's-
what I'm thinking, because I know there's 2 right on the top of my head that have been empty for a couple of years, and I know it's costing us money.
If we're not using the
We're not
building, we
using
should we should sell them or do
Because we
something
got
with
the
them. Why don't
children's
we have
shelter,
them,
we got
as
the
an
children's
asset
shelter
if we're
that's
not
not
using them
being
for 2 or
used,
3 years?
And we're in the process of selling the DI That's the
Yeah.
2 I'm thinking
We
of.
tried to sell the.
Diablo, did we not take Diablo off? Did we not take, I'm sorry.
I believe the DI is off,
I think we paid.
What about the
Diablo off.
children's shelter?
and it may
Because
be
it's
off.
sitting on ready, but it's nobody in it.
We'll have to go back and look, let's check.
Those 2 are the ones I got. on
Because
top of
they
my
may
head.
be off too.
But as opposed to having people stuck in a trailer. We've advertised to sell the DI 3 times, but
So I'll probably be in front of y'all from now till the end of the year, every meeting, to give you a progress report of where we're at on the quotes and where we're moving. And we'll continue to work with the administration. We will obviously have a loss limit. Everything's out to model. We'll have,
Bill.
both models that they use to provide y'all.
Frank, do y'all, do you have a rough quote? Do we know what the increase is roughly gonna be yet? You don't have that yet.
I don't even want to speculate right now. I mean, there's carriers that are completely pulling out of the coastal market, carriers that we in the past have been able to dictate certain things like a single adjuster or, if we have a sublimit of flood. We have carriers now that may participate in your first 25 or $50 million layer that will not. They may be 5% of that layer, but they will not approve the adjuster. So we're having to go back to every carrier and argue and fight to try to get the program we had last year. The program we're going to bring you is not going to look like last year's program, but we'll show you every deviation. I'm going to bring us schematics of every carrier on every layer and any deviation in that layer. It's going to be when we present the final proposal, it's gonna be a pretty complicated
I
looking.
think it'd be fair to say we're not gonna pay less.
Yeah.
That's fair to say.
And the NFIP,
The NFIP, I'm actually going to DC tomorrow, to work on, NFIP. We'll see where it goes. It's been funded and, they're basically kicking the can down the road. As long as we can keep caps on, I think that's the best we can do at this point. So,
I wanna wait till they finish counting those votes, they can take counting now for a week.
and I believe, Mr. Holloman, y'all had a good result on one of y'all's outstanding long-term comp cases. No, we can't talk about the detail, but the county did well. So it's good to have that one over with. So,
Of course, we've been doing well for a while, knock on wood.
yes.
On all phases, I wouldn't think the liability issues for the county would be very extensive as far as liability insurance.
No, I mean, this is, the only county I've presented to that has actually had a decrease in law enforcement liability. I hope that continues, but most of them are having massive increases, if not, difficult coverage. So,
and on the NFIP, make sure that you let us know how that's going so we can let the other 5 states.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our state caucus.
Item 4 is consider approval of the resolution of the Harrison County Development Commission authorizing and approving the sale of approximately 3 acres of real property to Paul and Courtney Paladio for the purpose of cultivating medical marijuana in accordance with the real estate purchase of attached hereto as Exhibit B, and having a purchase price of $75,000 and requesting the Harrison County Board of Supervisors to concur in this resolution and to join in the conveyance of said real property.
Is it 75 or 60?
75, I believe.
What I'm saying is, I'm seeing purchase price 60 with a $5,000 down payment. Is that right?
It's 75. Yes.
60,000 with the $5,000 down payment. It's not 75.
In the back.
In the backup.
It's 25,000 an acre for 3 acres, and I believe they sent us a $5,000 check.
The purchase price is 75,
That's too much.
paragraph 2
See what I'm
of the
saying?
Frank real estate law.
Payment, okay. Exhibit B, maybe it's the wrong exhibit.
Is this pending all approvals through the zoning and the state?
Of course.
That's pending?
Yes, this is one step.
Contract.
Should I introduce myself? My name is Paul Palillo. I'm the COO of Sweet Life Canico.
Has there been any process of getting approval, zoning and state application, whatever the process is?
Are you licensed?
So first, we are in the midst of working on our license. One of the protocols for it is to procure the land itself, which is what we're going through right now. So this does have many
So
stages.
that's the you've got to have the
This is-
land first.
This is step
How
one. This
close
is
is
step
it to
one.
that school
Yes.
up there?
Yes, and we've done this recently in the past to a different location, also serving your district, where we were looking to procure agricultural to keep it kind of in a very secluded location. My wife and I really listened to the community because we got pushback from them saying, hey, we just
Where are
don't
you
want to.
from?
I'm from New Orleans, Mandeville, Louisiana, so is my wife from Chalmette. However, I have extensive backgrounds to this community here. I work as a defense contractor for about 20 years, supporting all different aspects. Currently, I'm in charge of a $60 million effort for this Polish security cutter out of Pascagoula. So as far as capability, that's why I'm the operations officer. It's my job to make sure that we bring this technology to the patients, which is really who we're doing this for. So yes, this is only step one. It's really in support. My wife is the CEO, which is really who I'm representing. She's not here today. She's a triple negative breast cancer. I want to say the word survivor, but unfortunately she's with triple negative. It basically means that none of the chemo regimens that she's had work to shrink her tumor. Now she currently they removed the tumor. They removed the tumor and she's cancer free. She has, going to a naturopath and there's other things that she does, but cannabis has really been a godsend to my wife. She's home right now because she had surgery, otherwise she would be the one here talking to you. She's very passionate about educating the public and making sure that they know about what this technology does and the safety of how we're going to execute. I'm a family of 8. I've got, between my wife and I, we have 6 children. Oldest is 19 at LSU and the youngest is now 3.
One of the big things, so really I'm a caregiver. Even though I'm good at my job, I'm probably in the top 2% of defense contracting, bringing technology, following government standards to fruition. Very capable, and this is something that God has given me this talent to do. But the one thing that did cripple me is my wife getting sick. So I always say to her, she says that she's married to an alpha, but I said, who controls the alpha? I work for my wife.
Let me ask you, Bill, so is this the third cultivating business in Long Beach Park?
Yes, ma'am.
You're aware of that, huh?
So I am aware of the competition. I'm also aware of the competition as far as the environment right now. The dispensaries, if you use that as a gauge, there's about
There's a school out
150
there.
of
Are
those.
you more than 1,500 feet from that school?
No.
Yeah, it's like 4,000 feet away from the school or more.
There's no school closed.
No
Well,
school.
the Catholic school's across the street, but you do meet the,
It's not even across
long
the
one.
street.
Yeah, I meant on the other side of FB Avenue from the park.
It's at
What about
least
that West
5,000.
Harrison County, the junior college? Does that make
Oh,
sense?
they,
Mine's about a half a mile away.
I just, maybe that's one of them.
Oh, absolutely. And we are looking at that. Churches, schools, very important. Especially me being a family man, that's tremendously important.
Episcopal School Road is on the west side, which is
But you'll have to
still
go through that. for
meets the
design.
criteria.
Like, just be prepared for that.
Oh, absolutely. And again, this is step one. We still have to go through to make sure that we meet all of those criteria to get the final approval. As far as competition, you bring up a great point, and I think that plays to actually our strength. So they've got about 150 dispensary approvals. I'll put it to everybody is throwing out, hey, we're gonna get involved. What's gonna happen is a lot of those are going to fail. They are. And we're aware of that. Because of the strict rules and regulations on growing, on technology, one of the benefits of what we're gonna do, we know that we're gonna be one of your key companies in this area to be able to do this. We've got a 6,000 square foot plan to employ about 30 people. We're looking to grow that to larger in a staged growth plan. So we're not just doing what other cultivators are doing, throwing up a big building, a lot of money at it, and then they're growing things outside. Our technology is more of our strength, is that we're actually bringing more of a franchise as far as the technology. And that, so our chief technology officer, who also, he wanted to be here, but had some trouble, he actually has been in the Boston area, and they have been forefronts and pioneers on the testing and making sure that it's done safe. To give a good example of smell was always a big problem where people would say, oh, that's a negative. You could smell it. His technology that he implements, they actually have it in an urban building where you can't, the room could be right outside and you cannot smell it in this room. So we're bringing that type of technology to this area. Also, we're bringing security, high security to this area that's actually used, we're partnering with a company that does voice activated systems outside the perimeter. Just like and we're actually using that technology here in Mississippi on some car dealerships. So it alerts people the second that they're on the property and gives us one-to-one communication with that person, and it's a very good strategic deterrent. So we're already bringing leaps and bounds other technologies that these other companies are going to be struggling with. We're not going to be struggling. For us, it's just a matter of getting into the right area, growing at a good rate, and making sure that we're supporting our local community. We work for you, and that's really what I'm asking for, is to continue to work for you.
Sounds good.
I make a motion to approve.
Okay. Do we get a second?
Uh,
Second?
Second.
Okay, is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Next up, number 5, order approval, consider approval of the resolutions of Harrison County Development Commission authorizing and approving the lease purchase agreement between the Harrison County Development Commission and S&J Leasing LLC of 2.45 acres of land within the Long Beach Industrial Park in Harrison County, Mississippi, for use as an equipment storage and laydown yard in accordance with the lease purchase agreement attached hereto as Exhibit A, and having a rental of $610 per month for the term of 10 years. And requesting the Harrison County Board of Supervisors to concur.
Motion.
Second discussion. How come, so you're gonna loan them the money, basically?
Yeah, we're doing a lease purchase agreement with them.
Do you think that's a good idea? I mean, if they don't have the money to buy the land, how are they gonna do a cultivating?
This is a It's called Southeastern Masonry. It's not a
Oh, okay.
cultivating company at all.
This is the latest.
So
Okay, I'm
they were on Eaton Avenue and their building got sold by the owner in California. They want to stay in Long Beach and they're relocating to the site.
I was looking.
And you were reading ahead. That's
I
where you
was.
saw the
That's where the
60,000. Correct.
60,000 plus 5.
Yep.
Wrong, I was on the wrong number.
All right, is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. All opposed, motion carries.
Thank you all.
Next up, consent agenda, items number 6 through 12 has been placed on the consent agenda. Same trend for routine. And now for first matters which all supervisor like to agree. Motion,
Motion.
discussion. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Order acknowledging receipt of and spreading upon the minutes the following rental contracts.
Motion.
Discussion. All in favor of the motion, say aye. All opposed, motion carries. Order spreading upon the minutes personnel changes in the tax assessor's office as listed and on file with the payroll clerk and personnel department.
Motion. Second.
Discussion. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, motion carries. Order acknowledging receipt of and approving a petition for increases to the 2022 real property roll as recommended by the tax assessor.
Motion.
Discussion. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, motion carries. Order acknowledging receipt of and approving petition for decreases to 2022 property roll as recommended by the tax assessor.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, motion carries. Order accepting low quote in the amount of $17,197.56 from Office Furniture Solution for replacing office workstation in tax collector's office at the Second Judicial District Courthouse to be paid out of the account 001-104-920 within budget. Second.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, motion carries. Order accepting the low quote in the amount of $5,925 from Glass Solutions, Inc. for replacing glass partitions in the tax collector's office at the Second Judicial Courthouse to be paid out of account 001-014-919 within budget, and approving the line transfer items 001-104-920 to 001-104-919.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor of the motion, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. On the spread upon the minutes, personnel changes for the tax collector's office as listed and on file with the payroll administrator and human resource department.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor of the motion, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Order approving extension of the Clearwater Solutions LLC contract for utility services for Harrison County Emergency Shelters in accordance with the terms of the contract. The price of adjustment to the annual sum of $32,662.21 through December 31, 2023, and authorizing the execution by the board president as recommended by Jacqueline Turner, county engineer. Second. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Order approving the appointment of Deputy Fire Chief Shane Bass to fill the remaining term of the Assistant Police Chief Chris Williams as the City of Pasco Stand representative on the Harrison County Emergency Communications Commission. Said terms ending July 14, 2026. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Discussion.
Oh.
Yeah.
All in favor of the motion, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Order commencing termination of the agreement with MP Design Group for a new emergency communication office and issuing the required 30 days written notice pursuant to the terms of the condition of the contract.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion.
Who dropped the ball?
No, that's the one y'all told them they couldn't have that, up at the.
There's no use having
Academy.
a,
So then why are we
there's no
doing
use having
another
a,
notice?
Hmm?
And issuing the required 30-day written notice to cancel?
So
That's what,
Okay.
ma'am, I'm sorry. During budget hearings, we came to the understanding that we're no longer in a position to build new construction for the building. So we paused the project at that time. This is given the official notice that we're gonna be terminating the design.
Okay, and you got with, the people for the new office space?
We're gonna talk about that on the next item, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Discuss relocation of the Emergency Communication Office.
All right, thank you for this opportunity to give you an update on the planning we've been doing on finding new space. Since we're no longer able to move to a new building, we are absolutely going to move forward on the board's decision to go to relocate to existing construction. We met with the county engineer and with the architect for the new building, and by reshuffling some of the assigned locations, we were able to make it so that we would have available office space and filing space and shared equipment space with some of the other departments that would be going into the new building. So we can make that work, absolutely, and appreciate the opportunity to do that if that's the way we go. I did want to update the board on another option for your consideration. And in the last month, I came to the understanding that MSU Extension has plans to be relocating to a new site. And
Where, from where they are now?
so where they are now on Highway 49, very
That's
close to
news to
Airport
me.
Road.
I heard that. I
Okay.
told you that.
Let him finish.
So what had been conveyed to me, ma'am, was that MSU Extension was going to be vacating some spaces there in that building on Highway 49. And based off of a walkthrough, just to see the spaces, it seems like it could be another potential alternative for a space to move emergency communications to. If MSU Extension does not go there, and I misunderstood, please accept my apologies.
They moved one person, Mr. Ray, out to the fairgrounds because he does the 4-H program. But the ladies have already said they are not planning to move. So I think they
Okay.
probably need to focus on that new building.
Maybe I misunderstood.
I think they're all going out there.
That's not what I was told. I
Okay.
talked to them. No,
Where
they're
in
not.
fairgrounds?
The lady said they didn't want to go
rebuilt-
out
they
there.
They rebuilt that, on Levin's property, that we purchased, they had a building out there.
Yeah.
So they're building.
That was for
offices
Tim
out
Ray
there.
only, because I tell you, those ladies told me themselves they did not want to go out there.
They may have different ladies that are, they've had some transition.
But they said they weren't, the DMSU told them they didn't
I
want to
could,
go.
I could understand why they do.
They don't want to go out there. I'm telling you, I think for planning purposes, why are you so against moving in with those?
So, ma'am, the space is
It's a
available
brand new
in.
building, it's huge, got your own parking, I mean, what's the problem?
Right, so the only downside that was identified as we were going through the planning with the architect and with the engineer was that this will fill up every last amount of space in the new building. So if there is a need for any future growth in any of the departments going out there, that would no longer be possible.
There ain't no other departments going out there, babe. That building was built for you and those departments. That's what it's for. Now, if they grow, there's plenty of space out there that we can add on if we need to. Like the tax collector, she's just doing a little satellite office out there. But I mean, how big is it, Timmy? It's huge. How many acres is it on?
5.
Plenty of room. I would
If
take that
that- if
down.
that's the board's direction, absolutely, that's what.
I'll make that motion that you just plan on being there and save us all of.
Do you have to build like a lean-to or something?
There will be a need for some covered equipment area for the
We
trailers, and that could be a follow-on project for the new
Yeah, we
building.
talked about that.
But just wanted to provide the update to you as far as available options. I just wanted to make you aware of the space on Highway 49.
Once the decision was made that y'all were gonna move out there, then accommodations as far as construction of the building should accommodate you.
Design had already been.
Was it already designed prior to?
But it was always designed though with the extra office space in there for y'all, since that other thing fell through.
We should have made that decision before that design was completed
I thought we
and
did.
accommodate the emergency people out there.
We said
Now we
everybody that was
kinda
currently.
chip-shotting it in.
No, we said everybody that was currently located out there where the engineering and that code office was would relocate. That's where it's
What I'm
at.
trying to point out,
Not you, but-
I don't have a problem with them going out there. I'm not arguing against them going out there. I'm arguing that we were apparently late in doing it, and therefore the building was built without accommodating their needs.
But the reason it was later is because we were told that they had the money to build that other building. And come to find out, when Mr. Perry spoke to us, they didn't really have the money. So that's the problem.
I understand it's
Just
a
to
problem.
clarify.
That's what I'm just saying is, can they be accommodated in that building?
They can, if it was to include their department when we did this configuration, then I missed that. I understood their department was going out to the fairgrounds, but we did
No, it wasn't
leave
going to the
space.
fairgrounds, it was gonna go to that county.
I'm sorry,
But y'all
To
really
the
didn't-
academy.
But they didn't really have the money to do it.
And,
Our
yeah,
financial
we did
situation.
leave room for every department to expand, so we had extra office spaces for each department, and we did sit down with them and find a way to carve out an area where they can all work together. But it
So it's
does
gonna
kind of snug us up, which is fine, we can do that. They had some equipment needs outside of the building, they'll need to have covered space,
Which
but
Timmy and them.
we have the acreage to do that.
So we can make adjustments.
Well,
Yes,
and we're at the point now, if you're gonna make them adjustments, we need to go ahead and make them before we get that parking lot and everything paid.
Exactly.
Well,
That's
why
my
I just
point.
made
So
sure
we need to go
they
ahead and
y'all-
look for that if there's more dirt work and stuff like that.
Cause he
Yeah, when
met
we-
with the
when we laid it
architect
out, there's
and the
room behind
engineer. Did y'all not include Timmy when you had the meeting? Okay, y'all might want me to include Mr. Smith.
We will, and when we did that layout, we left room directly behind that parking lot to expand too.
That's what I had in
So
mind.
we can do that, and we'll absolutely start working through those
But
details.
let him know because the dirt's got to settle if I'm not speaking out of school.
Definitely.
So,
Before we go do a lot of work and then have to tear it up, you're absolutely right. We need to know what is needed out there and do it before we.
And it needs to be hurried up because
So I make the
that site's
motion
moving
again,
fast.
that y'all, the E911 be located out there.
Second the motion.
She got a second. But you need to be clear.
What's?
So I make a
But thank you
motion
for
that they
coming.
go
They're
gonna
forward
go.
to move into that building and work with
Okay,
Timmy.
that's what we're gonna do. Let's do it
Let's
and
do
get
it.
the planning done and be over with. So
That's fine.
that you know exactly where you're gonna be and what your needs are to be accommodated.
Okay, is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thanks. Order authorizing payment by check to County Line Campers in the amount of 40,000 kept from 122-265-918 for the purchase of a 2022 Forest River Denigrants 26 VKS tar hauler trailer. This is due to County Line Campers require payment at the time of delivery pickup for this item. Motion,
Motion. Somebody got a second?
second, discussion.
Yeah.
What exactly
Who's this
is
for?
included in this trailer?
40 grand.
$40,000. We almost built a building for that, but this is mobile. You need something mobile. What is that? What
What
do
is?
you have in that trailer? What is it?
Yes, sir. Basically, this is your common toy hauler, which has the kitchen, has bedrooms, and it has room in the back for the, for a four-wheeler type of vehicle that you would take camping and doing all that. The backstory on this is that AMR at one point had a large command post used for many years. Finally, it just wore out and we needed something different. So we decided that we wanted something like a toy hauler, which we could take our ambulance gator, the gator that is equipped for an ambulance, put it in the back of that, and then haul it with any vehicle that we need to haul. So we're not talking about so we don't have a vehicle that is dependent on enclosed engine. This trailer could be hauled by any vehicle that we decide to take with and go do what we need to do with. And one of the problems,
What would be some occasions that you would need that?
well, there's about a dozen. I mean, every parade that we have on the coast, they can pull that, because what we're doing also on that is we're taking out the bedroom in the front, and that becomes a command office. And it's gonna be a command post for large events such as cruising the coast type of thing. for the spring break type of events, for the Mardi Gras type events. Aircraft that go down in the county that we've had in the past, and we had to put people on site for several days while FAA came in and did all these kind of things. This is a vehicle that can bring our equipment and have a command post in it, and have the bathroom, and have the kitchenette in it, to take care of those needs. And so the 40,000, I'd like to spend 25,000, but you're not gonna get anything really less than
But could
40,000.
you use that like when you go work these other disasters?
Absolutely.
That would come in, because I know the bathroom's pretty.
But if you take the bed, is it got
But
another
you
bed in
might
there
wanna
or
leave the bed
something?
in there.
Storms?
Yes, ma'am, the bed in the front, which is a single bed, and I'm not sleeping with my fireman in a single bed up front. Just saying. But we want that to be the office, but in the back, when we take the toy out, the Gator ambulance out, that's made where they do have bunking in there, and we can put bunks in there also, so we can put several people in there, and it could be a standalone unit. If you send 4 people with this unit, they have a place to stay, they have a place to shower, they can cook something, and they got a command post in there with bringing the toy. So if we get a mission that we're not bringing the ambulance Gator, we're loading it up with the equipment that we need to go out to do the job.
That's in, count 122-285-918, that.
EMSOF.
That, is that, oh, that's.
EMSOF
That's
grant money.
oh, good.
Yes, sir,
Okay.
that's where that's coming
Yeah,
from.
that's where it's coming from. Good, we got pretty good bid in there, though.
Yes, sir, and we have to spend that money down.
This is
Right.
from,
Right,
Yes,
good.
sir.
And could you loan that like if the road department needed to go work a disaster?
You know, I might be able
Could
to,
you
but
go
the
with
cost
them?
that I'm gonna have to charge them, because they charge us back.
No problem, buddy, I'll make it up.
Pat, do you have the grant though, ready for for this year for EMSOF? Did y'all send that in? Or get that in?
Yes, ma'am. We're working on that now. I'm getting information from the departments across the coast that want certain items. They're calling me and telling me and sending me emails. So we're putting that together right now. And we had to do, one of the things that we had to do is from last year, we had to change some things up because getting anything, a truck, all these things that we're trying to get were being held up. And so we took some money because we were able to get something right away, and we changed it and so forth, so on. But we are in the process of getting that completed. Yes, ma'am.
By the way, Tim, you should explain to him that's a one-way street. Just like those interlocal agreements we have is a one-way street.
Look, I'm gonna just pay his rent back to him in his money.
Yeah. Hey, that's his money.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next up is 25, but I want to recognize one of our blessed city council, Mr. Paul Tizio.
How did Paul sneak in?
I know,
didn't
I
see
didn't
him.
I can't sit on the back road, man.
Had I known I was gonna be representing the city, I would have worn a tie.
Yeah, I saw Peter Raybad driving, I think it was him.
Is he on the
Full
agenda?
suit with a tie, oh no, driving a golf cart. Is that him this morning?
What do you have an agenda item?
Bizarre looking.
I can vouch for everybody.
Welcome.
LSU
Oh.
fans, he's probably celebrating.
Like I say,
All right, number 25 is order approving travel in the county vehicle for Pat Sullivan and Donald Antonio Fire Services to attend the following classes in Baton Rouge.
motion.
Discussion.
If they had that trailer, they could take it and save us $150 a night.
Yes, sir.
They'd have to sleep in the same bed.
They'd have to see, that's the only problem, Pat, wouldn't go.
Okay, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Order approving the recommendation of William and Associates PA for professional design services for the new Harrison County Fire Station at the Tradition Community, based on the recommendation of the selection committee as recommended by Chief Pat Sullivan, Harrison County Fire Service, and authorize the board president to execute the agreement.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor of the motion, say aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Next up is the zoning administrator.
Items 27 through 28 are the regular cases before the planning commission. We'd like you to concur with the planning commission's recommendation.
Okay, your motion,
Motion.
second.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor of that motion, say aye. All opposed, motion carries. 29, order concurring with the county administrator on the employment list.
Motion.
Second, discussion. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, motion carries. Order spreading upon the minutes of personnel in the sheriff's office listed on the file with payroll clerk and human resources.
Motion.
Second, discussion. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, motion carries. Order spreading upon the minutes of list of emergency local and state contracts, orders issued by purchasing department for the month of October. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, motion carries. Order designating any board of supervisor, the purchase clerk, chancery clerk, or any department head as needed as a board representative to receive bids, RFPs as listed below.
Motion.
Second. Discussion. All in favor of the motion, say aye. All opposed, motion carries. Order rejecting the bid received on September 27, 2022 for the Memorial Island Boulevard improvements in Long Beach with no intention of re-advertising.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion.
Why?
Why?
The bids came in way over our budget, and we're just not gonna do it. And probably what we could do is take that money and put it into the, girls softball field.
That's a motion.
Yeah.
Any further discussion?
Same thing happened.
All in favor of the motion, say aye. All opposed, motion carries. Recognize the sheriff as or his representative as reporting the number of persons currently housed in Harrison County Jail facilities.
Right now, we have 769, 29 misdemeanors, 110 females, 76 cleared inmates, and 38 federal inmates.
Mr. Ron, is that jacket warm? It looks so thin.
It is warm.
But it's not.
Breaks, but we got,
Yeah.
it was horrible yesterday.
Hence windbreak.
I know, that's why, but it gets real thin. I need one of those that small. You can leave all the patches.
And you need that.
Item 35, order approving the local purchase from Associate Foods in the amount of $26,170.47 for various kitchen equipment for the Harrison County Law Enforcement Training Academy, payable from Sheriff's Budget Account 001-200-921, and authorizing the county administrator to transfer same. Motion.
Motion.
Second discussion. I'm just giving you a heads up. When our new sheriff took over and we went out for bid for the food service, there was no record anywhere of what equipment belonged to the old contractor and what equipment belonged to the sheriff.
Right.
So would you make some kind of file to make sure for future reference?
Yeah, this will all be assetted.
This appears to
It'll
be
all
an
be
actual
assetted.
purchase.
It is.
Yeah, but see, that's what happened before.
Right.
I think, they had a different contractor, but nobody kept record of who
We
owned
remember
what.
that.
So
This time we're buying everything.
That's
belongs
good.
to
So
the
we don't
county.
have to worry about it.
So don't have to worry.
Okay.
All in one place.
Yeah. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. All opposed, motion carries. 36, order acknowledging the receipt of $1,500 from grant number 23CA 1241, Mississippi Leadership Council on Aging Grant for the Sheriff's Office Triad Program for deposit into the account of 030-453-241 and authorizing the board president to execute the grant signature.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Order accepting the donation of the Key West 196 Bay Boat, Mississippi Department of Marine Resources, and authorizing the inventory clerk to add the same to the county inventory list.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion.
We'll just buy it.
Somebody
Mhm.
donated this one.
I know, but I thought we just bought a boat at the last meeting, and here's one for free.
I think we went out for a quote that was, RFP and on that last boat, and that's a grant boat. The other one. This is This is one that, the, DMR regularly, this is the second one they've given us, it's usually.
And then this goes to the sheriff's office.
It does, and we already had a motor that we've been storing.
I know the road department was kind of long one too.
We
Check the
have one,
bridges.
we have to have one built with the crane on it.
Oh, okay.
After Katrina, or post Katrina, I can't remember exactly. The sheriff's department, didn't we buy some shallow boats that you would be allowed, it would allow you to go into flooded areas, rescue people? Do we still have those
Yes, sir,
boats?
those soft-sided boats.
Is that what they?
We have two of those.
Yeah.
And, they're small, the small ones, we keep them at the Marine Patrol Beach Patrol building, so they stay inside, you can't let them sit outside.
Right, right.
We
Make
still
sure you
have
keep them
those.
running, because you know where I live.
But Timmy, that's not gonna help you.
Is there any further discussion?
Thinking about it.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries. Order authorizing the inventory clerk to remove asset 23506, Glock 19, 9mm, serial number UR336 US from inventory.
Motion.
Discussion,
Why?
second discussion,
Why?
was the gun stolen, where is it?
We have
We're
to
moving it from inventory, do we know where it is? Or
We need
who's
to
got it?
declare it as surplus.
That's a weapon.
I'll find out for you, but I'm not real sure about that one. I don't think it's missing or anything. I think it was something to do with this last auction. And, for some reason, it wound up as a backup weapon on our inventory. And I think we're taking it off of that inventory.
Yeah, but
But
should
we
be
kinda
declared.
need to know where it's going, if we're removing it from inventory, where is the gun going?
It's a seized
Needs to
weapon.
be
It's a
declared
seized
surplus.
It's a seized
And
weapon.
more than likely, it's gonna go back to an auction status,
Okay.
is
Yeah.
what it is. We don't usually use the 9mm for stuff like that.
But we need to find out. 'Cause
It shouldn't be removed from inventory until something happens.
I would.
That's what I'm saying, if we're removing it from inventory, we need to know where
Where it's going.
the weapon is going. Who's gonna have it, or
So I
what
can, should we do a substitute motion?
whether it's gonna be destroyed or what, some information about the weapon itself.
Well, I'll go back and do a substitute motion to table this request until we have more information. Mr. Ron, would that be okay?
Yes, I'm getting it for you.
Okay.
Second.
And second,
Yeah.
all in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Order authorizing deposit in the amount of $750 per attached invoice payable to Tor Hill K-9 Training Inc. for Deputy Oliver to attend the K-9 training instructional course on January 2nd, 2023.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Order authorizing the replenish of the transport petty cash in the name of Matt Haley in the amount of $7,057 payable from 001-253-475 to bring the amount balance of the approved $10,000.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Order approving the reappointment of the following members of the Harrison County Sheriff's Office Civil Service Commission as recommended by the sheriff. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second. I'm sorry.
Discussion. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Order authorizing the board president to sign the Pacific Development Authority Government Coast Restoration Fund request for cash for services dated August 10, 2022. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Order.
Mr. President, it was sold at the last gun auction.
Well, that's.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's,
We can go back and,
So I'll make a motion to take that item off the table.
second.
Change the motion to say authorize it to be removed from the
Yeah, I
inventory
was
because
gonna
it was
say,
sold
they
at the
should have
last
sold
auction.
that until we did that.
Until
I got that
explanation.
backwards.
okay. So what are we doing?
The motion's taken off the
Take it
table.
off the table, then we're
Did I
gonna
get a
approve it.
second on it? You got a
Second.
Okay. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
I'll go back.
Now the motion is to approve the removal
From the inventory list.
and to include, from inventory list, that don't need to include it being
That particular asset.
surplus, and the reason was that it
It was
was
sold.
sold.
It's
Last
auction.
auction.
Second.
Second, all in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Okay, 44, order 43, yeah. Order approving travel for Pamela Urich, County Administrator, to attend the 2023 ICMA Annual Conference to be held in January 27th through the 29th in Austin, Texas. The estimated cost of $762.
We may,
International County.
I like that
That was
conference.
a good conference.
Can we add any
any
supervisor?
supervisor?
Need to add that.
Let's add an any supervisor, because I get a lot out of that conference.
This isn't a conference, this is the plan.
Plan for the-
When's
That's
the
a committee.
conference?
She's on the committee.
Alright.
Yes, sir. The planning, meeting, I'm not sure, I think it's in September of next year.
Cause that is a.
But they're both, the NACO and the ICM are both in Austin.
And I have a
next year.
credit for,
I have 2 credits.
Okay, so he-
no, this is just.
This is for the planning, like the
Right.
speakers
Right.
and all the services.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. All opposed, motion carries. Order authorizing disposal of assets per attached to this and authorizing the inventory clerk to remove the same from the inventory.
Motion.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Order authorizing the transfer of the amount of $412.50 for fiscal year 2022 cell phone reimbursement to the escrow fund 002000054 payable from the general fund 001000149.
Motion.
Motion, second, discussion.
Yeah, what is this for? I'm sorry.
There are a couple of individuals where the cell phones are paid out of escrow, and so when their reimbursements are withheld out of payroll, their payroll accounts are out of the general fund. So we have to transfer that to the escrow fund to offset that expenditure.
Okay, say that again. That makes sense. So we're, somebody, not we, somebody's paying somebody's cell phone out of the escrow account.
These,
But
yes,
you're charging,
they're,
Ultimately, the general fund's paying for the phone.
yeah, but we don't
No,
pay for the
no,
department's fund.
the escrow fund is paying the cell phone bill. There are a couple of employees that have cell phones, and their payroll account is out of the general fund.
Right.
So when the reimbursement comes in, the amount that's held for their cell phone, we have to transfer that to the escrow fund where the expenditure is paid.
Oh,
But
okay.
my
Properly
question
matching.
is, why would we pay anybody's cell phone? You don't pay mine.
They're
I'm on
reimbursed.
call.
These are, it's,
He's on call. He pays for his.
We pay, every employee who has a county phone pays
Pays.
$15 a month.
Well, not
And
necessarily,
we
because
pay
there's two right here,
$25.
she just said that we're paying for.
Is that what, is that the?
it's so they can have a county phone.
Why do we?
Because they
Well,
were
why
requesting-
are we doing that? Is, if we're not gonna do it for somebody that's on call 24 hours a
That's what I'm
day,
saying.
why
It's
would
the
we be
IRS.
doing this?
We do it for everybody that's required to have a cell phone, but these
No, we
particular.
don't. I beg to differ with you. I pay for my cell phone out of my pocket, not out of the escrow account.
If you have the.
Jamie pays for his cell phone out of his pocket.
Out of the
not
road
theirs.
department, yes, but
If
I didn't approve for
I'm
these
asking
individuals
her.
to have the cell phone.
I don't like this.
Some pays for their own and some don't.
Well,
No,
and
they all
that's
pay,
fair.
if they have a county phone, they all pay, it's
county
it's
phone,
charged
yeah.
on their payroll if they have a county phone. Like I have 2 phones, I have a personal phone and a county phone.
It's an IRS regulation is what they're.
I understand that, but what I'm saying here is somebody is paying somebody's cell phone out of the escrow account. So that employees
It's a county.
aren't paying anything.
No, they
No,
are.
it's a county.
They are, the
They're
employees,
paying $15.
the employees are paying, but the employee's payroll account code is out of the general fund. And to properly match that reimbursement to the expenditure, we have to transfer it to the escrow fund, which is a separate fund. So that's why we are reimbursing the escrow fund. And all the
Mine
transfers,
isn't like that, so explain
because you're
to me
paid out of the
why it
general
would be
fund.
that.
But your
Be like that.
salary is out of the general fund, and your cell phone bill is paid out of the general fund. So
Why
therefore,
aren't
there's,
these couple of employees' cell phone bills paid out of the general fund? Maybe that's what I need to ask.
I'm gonna have to defer to the county administrator on
Because
that.
they're not department heads.
So
And
why
only
do they
they
have
are
a
their
phone?
own call.
It's a
Yeah.
choice. It's a choice that some of us are making to have somebody
Yeah,
have
somebody-
a cell phone, and we're paying for it out of the escrow account.
I know.
They may be on call for 24/7, I'm not sure
For
who they are.
whatever, for
I don't
whatever
have the
reasons,
Yeah,
we're
I don't
deciding
have
that certain people who generally
Yeah.
wouldn't get a county phone
Yes.
will get a county phone and we pay it out of escrow.
It could be community center workers,
That's
or
right.
the shelter work, the people who do the shelters, because they get calls when the people are there. It could have been, I'm not sure who
I
it
think
is.
the best example is, what you call the safety officers of the county patrol. Aren't we doing that?
No,
But those are out of the general.
Those are out.
Those are out of the general fund?
we don't do that.
It's gonna be probably the community center workers, or it could be administrative assistant that's on call if they have to go take care of something. Because some of them do have dual roles, if they have a dual role, those type of positions.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. All
Right.
opposed?
No.
Okay, motion carries. Item,
I'm sorry, who was the first and second?
I second.
And Marlon was,
No.
I did the first, but now I'm voting against it.
so you made the motion and you voted?
Well, I'm
Because
sorry.
I made the motion so we could discuss it, actually.
You're okay.
Okay.
all right.
Where are we, Mr. President?
Order 6, order authorizing reimbursement to the general fund 001-200-542 in the amount of $53.23 for work performed on fire station service vehicles payable from 106-250-542.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Order authorizing reimbursement for the road fund 150-000-360 in the amount of $360 for routine clerk staff for Civic Center rental payable from 001-510-581. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Order authorizing the reimbursement to the road fund 150-000-360 in the amount of $41.59 for uploading fertilizer for the park and recreation payable from 001-520-581. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
That's fertilizer for the parks? That's what that was?
All in favor of the motion, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. 49, order approving payment of the following claims.
Motion.
Second, discussion. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Order acknowledging receipt of and concurring with the recommendation of the.
Number 51.
We
We
did
did
that.
that, that's right. 51, order approving the rental agreement for the use of the Harrison County Fairgrounds.
I want a motion to table.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
let's
second.
table that until Supervisor Powell.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll second.
second, all in favor of the motion, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Order approving travel for any supervisor, county administrator, and board attorney to attend the 2023 NACO Legislative Conference in Washington DC via February 11th through 14th. Motion,
Motion.
second,
Second.
discussion. All in favor of the motion, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Order 53, order taken off the table, spreading upon the minutes the following executed rental agreements. Motion,
Motion.
second, discussion.
Discussion, and I don't want to be a dead horse or anything, but keep in mind that, as I understand the contracts for those civic centers, there's no half-day rentals except those they can half-day before the event or half-day after the event, but the event itself has no provision for a portion of the day.
No.
It's 17 hours, as I understand it, and that's it. You You can use it for 3 hours, you can use it for 8 hours, or you can use it for 17 hours. But there's no half-day rentals for the event itself.
No, but the setup day before, I think.
The setup day
Yeah,
before, and
half a
say
day.
that, but we're approving one that does have the $125 for a half a day, 8 hours.
Is that for setup?
I don't know what it
There
is,
were
it just
two.
says,
This one-
the only fee that, unless I'm missing it, it's a half a
But
day.
this one, just bring it up, cause it's only because y'all are tabling, and then the next one y'all will deny it, that's it right there. And we're
We're
doing a
bringing it?
different one.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's a new one on the end.
just pointing that
it's
out.
just revised, so y'all have it better.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got you.
You're giving it,
Yeah.
for all practical purposes, $225 for 17 hours. Why 8 hours, $125 for 8 hours? Just doesn't make sense. Anyway,
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Order denying spreading upon the minutes of Parliament executed running.
Motion, second.
Discussion. All in favor?
So we're denying this because originally I had requested them to give me the events that took place in the month of October, so that we would have the lease agreement, the payments, and then we would understand, we would have everything that we needed to approve,
okay.
to spread on the minutes. Because it would be confusing if some of them, they have 30 days prior to the event to pay, and some of them had, if they gave me what they scheduled for, took in that month, then they hadn't paid yet in some of them. So that's why we were denying those. And the next bunch, after that number
You
55,
approve.
will be all the ones that, they had all the events that were in the month of October.
Okay.
And the one you were talking about, it was a half, we had 2 of them like that.
Two half days?
They came in early and set up at 125. And then there is another center that they meet, it's like a meeting room, it's a small center, and they pay by the hour. But it spelled it out.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Order spreading upon the minutes of Parliament executed running agreements for the month of October 2022.
Motion.
Second, discussion. All in favor of the motion, say aye. All opposed, motion carried. Ready?
That's a lot shorter in blue.
Okay. Ron, you have anything?
No, sir.
Ms. Pam?
Yeah, we do. We have to, the closing, you have to open a checking account or a separate account.
For the Bucky's construction bond, we need board approval to open a new bank account so that they can wire those funds, and that will be done.
For the
on
bucket?
15th.
Bucket?
Yes, sir.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion.
On the discussion, not directly related to the account, Tim, but are we working with MDOT to come up with some sort of MOU to kind of supervise and make sure that what we pay him for, we get him?
Yes,
Yeah.
we are. We have to come up, I mean, that's being worked on as we speak.
Yeah.
They're working right now, getting the development agreement with Bucky's done, and I think that's next.
Thank you. That's it.
All right.
Need to vote.
Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Anything else, Doc?
That's it.
Okay, just one thing, how we're looking on the new building we were discussing earlier? Any updates, Tammy?
I think the dirt work's finished. We're waiting on a few more boxes to put the drainage, trunk lines in. Contractor, I think, is about 2.5 weeks from pouring the slab. So, I think they're a couple months out from receiving the metal structure of the building itself. So that's what I say, if you're gonna add anything, now's the time.
Yeah.
Now it's time to do it.
Okay, thanks. I don't have it.
I do, I just wanna recognize Mr. Robbie Turner, let you know that we're gonna miss you.
Thank you.
Wish you luck on your new endeavors and keep in touch.
I will do.
Thank you.
Robbie's always been good at what he does. Thank you, Robbie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robbie.
Appreciate you.
I have a executive session request for personnel for senior services and fairgrounds.
Okay, who are going around and trying to have anything?
No, sir.
Yeah.
I don't have anything, but I want to make sure the board understood on number 5, which was the Development Commission's approval of lease purchase agreement. Basically, these folks are leasing that for $61,000. They will over 10 years. At the end of the 10 years, they will get it for their
Same price.
payments are being credited. So that's 2.45 acres. There was one just before that was 3/4 of acres, $75,000. That does not appear to be fair market value on number 2, at least looking at number 1, number 4.
Did they not get appraisals? I thought
They didn't
were
get
supposed to
the whole
get
3,
appraisals.
the first one was 3 acres and the next one was what, 2.5?
Get 2.45.
And the first one they
was
sold for
3.
75,000, and this one with the interest, they're loaning it's gonna be about 73,000.
Yeah.
So how is that not right?
Well, 2.4, I just did the math, it's $61,000, because they're using part of it to calculate interest on the payment, so you're reducing the value. Like, you gotta remember, you're paying $61,000 over 10 years, it has a present value that's less than $61,000, I didn't do the calculation.
I saw that. but
It popped
that's
out to
what
me that there was maybe some, because there wasn't an appraisal, but I should have said it earlier, I just didn't do the math quick enough.
Yeah, it was, that's the 2 I was looking at.
The first one's $75,000 for 3 acres, sale.
Right.
The second one is a lease purchase for 2.5 acres.
For the
essentially.
laydown yard.
Yeah, for the laydown yard, but they're gonna be paying at $610 a month.
For
And
10
what they did
years.
was take the payment out and make it into principal and interest like it's a finance. It's actually not, so the county's gonna get less than, present value is probably closer to 50s, low 50s would be my guess.
So should we do a substitute motion?
I don't,
to
I just pointed out if y'all wanted to
But
approve,
what
that's
you,
fine.
what you're doing, Tim, you're comparing the 2,
That's right.
which is fine. And that, but we really need appraisals. There could be something that is causing that
Could be.
second one to be less valuable. So
I'll just look at the
I
map.
thought we were gonna get appraisals on all
We
the
told
properties
him.
we sell it. But you see, because we don't know for sure, I understand what you're saying, assuming that the 2 properties are the same value or
Right.
per
We don't-
acre.
We don't
But
know
there
that.
could be something determining that second property has less value, it could be the next door neighbor or something, I don't know. But that is what we need to know, and I think appraisals would satisfy those issues.
Well, I'll make a motion that we require, again, the Development Commission to get this
I
property
thought that was
appraised.
understood.
I thought we already did it, but just in case, I'll do it again.
Well, and they probably didn't get one because this was a lease purchase, but it's actually a purchase.
But it's a
not
purchase.
a lease purchase.
Lease purchase or not,
That's purchase.
it's,
Do you need a second, but we need to,
Just
do we need a
require.
substitute motion on those 2
on a
leases?
lease, on a lease purchase agreement, Tim, is it sort of like a deed of trust? For example, if they miss a couple months on those payments, is that property legally, or could we legally get that
Yeah,
property back
There's a default provision.
in that lease
If they
purchase?
default on the lease, then they would lose their right to buy the property. So but again, there's cure provisions where they have a right to cure it too, but as long as they cure it, they wouldn't care.
And see, here's my issue with it. If they're gonna use it for a laydown yard, what if they're finished with it in 3 years?
Where's the what?
They're finished with it in a year or 3 years.
And they
And
won't
they
go.
just rented it for,
They're paying $610 a month.
they just
So
rented it
just
for
rented it.
that
Yeah.
period. The effect would be that they just rented it for that period of
Right.
time.
They have no, we're the ones that are liable though, not the Development Commission.
Well, should we make a motion to rescind that until we get
Oh, it's
the
no flavor
appraisal?
stuff here. Oh,
No, not there.
Maybe the solution to that is, why do we lease purchase?
I don't know.
Why don't they go to the bank,
That's what I
borrow the
asked.
money and
If
pay?
they don't have enough money to buy it outright, then why are they in business?
Basically financing it, what you did.
Yeah.
Pardon?
You're
Yeah.
basically financing the piece of
Do
property.
we know what the rate was?
They've got a rate, got an amortization schedule, but I don't know what rate they used it, so.
Well, it comes to 73,000 over 10 years and they're borrowing 65.
I make a motion to rescind, the lease, lease purchase.
Number 5.
I'll second. I'll second.
And
Why don't we just have it, well,
Have them come to, you know, I hate to
have
do
them
that
come,
because
yeah.
this other guy not ready.
You can resubmit it.
We're not rescinding his, he bought his outright.
They talking about.
Here's
We
number
just
5.
talked about
But it
number
didn't have
three.
it didn't have an appraisal, did it? Did it have an
It's
appraisal?
got,
I thought it did.
I
I thought it did.
I don't recall seeing an appraisal in the
I saw a
back.
bunch of papers.
Just the resolution.
I
Just
think
the
they said they based
resolution.
it on other
There
sales.
were no appraisals in the back.
I think they said that was based on recent sales of $25,000 an acre, or recent appraisal.
That's what it
Probably
said.
the other two properties.
That was based on recent sale, is what they're saying.
That's what I understood it to be saying, that it was based on, recent other sales using $25,000 an acre.
Remember, this is the same one that wanted to sell waterfront property in a neighborhood for $23,000.
You women never forget.
No, we don't forget. It's like elephant.
Well, you got a motion and a second to rescind the lease purchase.
I don't know if we should do that. Let's,
Let's rescind, I mean,
let's bring
So
them
bring
back.
them up, yeah.
Let's find out about
We're just asking for an explanation.
it.
then we
Ask
can
them for an
rescind.
explanation.
Okay.
Vote it down, okay. Got a motion, a second. All in favor of the motion, say aye. All opposed?
No, so it's lost. You vote no,
I vote no.
fail.
Fail. So, Tim, you have anything?
I'll just.
That's just-
We need to get an
I'll send an email,
explanation.
Mr. Labor's asking for more information.
Yeah.
No, I don't have anything.
Okay,
tell them to come back to the next meeting and bring us.
so we need a motion to go to executive session.
The motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Reasons again for the executive session?
Discuss
Personnel? But you said personnel for senior citizen and fairgrounds? Both of them?
You're laying it in.
Supervisor Martin brought that she didn't get a second, require HC to get appraisals, did anybody get that, or did you?
Well, we
Just gonna bring
already
them back.
did that.
Yeah, I think we did already.
And we need to know why we're not getting them.
But I thought we had already asked them to bring them.
Maybe
But
you
if
asked,
not,
it's
we'll
just
do it
not
again.
included.
And you gonna tell him?
Yeah, he can
Okay,
make that.
thank you.
Okay, we get a motion and a second to go to executive session. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.